All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Gotta Be Legend Live, Gotta Be Legend TV here on YouTube. Of course, today is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, February the 3rd, 2021, and this is AGO, A Gamer's Opinion. And today we're going to go ahead and talk about Outriders. Salute to Exit Crosshairs. Special shout out to Exit, right? Holding it down over at Planet Enoch, right? The Discord server where pretty much all we do is talk about Outriders. So special salute to Exit. And yeah, today we're going to go ahead and talk about Outriders, right? I was able to play the demo, right? I played it fairly enough, right? I mean, of course, there are other people that have played it a lot more than me, but I was looking forward to this game. I was looking forward to seeing what it was going to be about, finally getting my hands on the game. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that, right? We're going to go ahead and talk about that. Hopefully, we'll have some special guests. If anybody wants to join, definitely let me know. It is open, right? So if anyone wants to chat, definitely fine by me. I'll go ahead and drop the Discord link here in the chat in case anybody wants to go ahead and join up with me. Let me go ahead and put that in there. So yeah, we're going to talk about Outriders, right? So I was able to play Outriders. I tried to play really on Thursday when it came out, but unfortunately the servers were shit for the first few moments, right? And I had to get to work, so I wasn't able to play. And so I was able to go ahead and play more yesterday, right? I've been really busy, right? I start work on Thursdays, and my last day of work usually is Monday, right? So due to my schedule, I really didn't want to play the game half-assed, right? So I wanted to at least focus on the game, focus on all these different mechanics, right? As you see on the screen, this is my gameplay from yesterday, right? So we're actually uploading this right now. It's going to be in 4K Ultra, of course, 60 frames. We're playing on RTX 3060 Ti. It's taken a while though, right? It's already been uploaded, right? But we're still waiting for YouTube to go ahead and process the video completely, right? Because I had to run it at about my bit rate was like 70,000, I think. So we're still waiting, right? So right now we're uploading that video, so you can go ahead and check it out. But that's what we're gonna go ahead and do, right? So we're gonna talk about Outriders. As you see the gameplay on the screen. Hopefully it's not too dark for you guys. I might have to clear it up a little bit. My good friend Sephiroth Evil, right? He had told me about the game. He was like, "Yo, you gotta try this, man. This game is gonna be Destiny." I was a really big Destiny fan, right? And I was hoping to play. I was really tired of playing all these games and not really enjoying it, right? And I just needed to play something different. Now guys, let me know if the stream is down or if it's acting up. Let me know. But I wanted to play something new, something different that I was going to go ahead and enjoy. And I just got burnt out, right? I got burnt out by Destiny. I've been playing Destiny since the alpha. For those of you that know, I've been playing it since the PS4 alpha. And I just got tired of it, man. Seriously, I just really got tired of that game. I was like, man, fuck this game. I'm tired of this shit. I want to play something different. So a friend of mine, he put me on to Outriders. He showed me the footage. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And it's, a loot shooter, right? I love those sort of games. Shout out to Damn D, big homie right there. And, I was like, man, I got to play something different, man. I can't keep playing this shit, man. Fucking Destiny, man, is fucking killing me, man. I think so. 7, I really hope at least, right? I really do hope. Like I said, I've been a big fan of Destiny for a long time, maybe a little too long, right? And because of that, I'm like, man, I need something different. And so, my good friend, he went ahead and showed me this game. He's like, yo, you gotta check this shit out. This shit looks dope. I mean, it's made by Square Enix. For anyone that knows, right? Square Enix, is a company that's behind Final Fantasy, right? Those RPG games. So they have, all the details that they need, right? I mean, they've been doing it for so long, man. We're talking about over 30 years making these sort of games. So they have an idea of how to go ahead and tackle a loot shooter, right? Especially, with stats and things like that, right? Just those RPG sort of elements, right? And actually, it does look a little dark right now. Let me see if I can maybe brighten this up for you guys. Sorry. It's just a little dark, man. I don't know why. Let me see if I can maybe brighten that up for you guys. So that way you can go ahead and see things a little bit clearer. Okay, that's definitely a lot better. So let me just refresh that. All right, that's going to be better. Okay, so yeah, I was playing this game, right, with a lot of hopes, right, of being able to go ahead and, something that's going to take care of that itch. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about, that Destiny itch. And so I was like, all right, cool. February 25th, right, the Outriders demo came out. It was on, PS4, PS5, Series X, One X, Series S, PC, and, I was playing it, right? And like I said, I wasn't able to really play it that day. I really wanted to. I got to play it that night, right? I did stream that a bit on Twitch. I did get to play up until the last mission. I hadn't realized that it was the last mission, right? When you're ready to go ahead and leave the area with Yakub, right? I got up to that point and I stopped playing, but I didn't know that was the last mission until afterwards I found out. So I practically had finished the demo that day. But, I'm going to give an honest opinion. When I played it the first day, right, that Thursday, I thought it was kind of boring. I swear. I thought it was kind of boring. Maybe because I was expecting too much out of the game, but I thought it was a little boring. Maybe it could have been because my gear wasn't good enough yet. Maybe, I felt like, I wasn't getting, the right gear, right? Because I did have a lot of, gray gear, right, and green gear. As you saw, that loot drop, the green gear is uncommon, right? So it's not the best gear, obviously, right? You want to go ahead and make sure you see if you can get legendaries and things like that. I haven't gotten any legendaries yet, but that's that. So at first I thought it was a little boring, honestly. My friend Sephiroth Evil, hopefully I'll be able to get him on the show. I know he's a little busy, he's working, so I hope he'll be able to join. If not, he told me that he felt the game was a 6 out of 10. And he's definitely a lot more critical than I am because he has a lot of experience playing, RPG sort of games, right? Whether they're action RPGs or, traditional RPGs or even loot shooters, right? So back then, a few years back, I did play a lot of The Division. If you check back on this channel, one of the first videos we put out was of the Division beta, right? It's probably like the second video that I put out 5 years ago, and it was for the Division beta, and I was really looking forward to that game. And unfortunately, the Division, it had the right idea, but the way that they had the Dark Zone and, of course, the player versus environment mode, right, the PvE mode, whatever you did in the game affected both ends, meaning that if you had to nerf a gun or buff a gun, it affected both ends. So that really, really hurt the game a lot. And so I didn't necessarily enjoy the Division too much because of that. I finished it, of course, but I never played the second game. And so a lot of people, right, had been, comparing this game, right, to the Division. Some people have been comparing it to Mass Effect. Some people have been comparing it to Gears of War. Also to Destiny, right, because of the loot. Now, I'm going to say off the bat, in terms of the gore, it's a lot like Gears. In terms of the mechanics of the game, it's more like the Division. And that's okay. It's not great, because I would have preferred that the cover system been more like Gears, a little bit more free. I don't like the fact that, you have to, for example, like, I'm not sure if you saw a little earlier, I'm sure you'll see it in a little bit, right, because this footage that I'm showing here, it's almost 2 hours, right? So there's the mechanic where you can be in cover, and then, with your aim, right, with the reticle, right, you can go ahead and highlight another area you might want to go ahead and, take cover on, and it does it automatically, right? And it's not necessarily automatically, but it'll do it for you unless you happen to interrupt the mechanic or interrupt the movement, right? And I don't necessarily like that, because it's like the Division. The Division had that, and I didn't really use it, honestly. I wish it would have been more like Gears, right? I wish it would have been a little bit more free in terms of the cover system, like Gears. But Then again, since it's not a PvP game, I guess it's okay, right? If it was a more of a PvP sort of game, that just slows down everything, right? You can't have that slow reaction time where you're waiting. No, you need to be able to do it on the go when you want, freely, right? And so that's one thing I didn't like about the game, and it's something that's gonna take some time to get used to again. I don't think it's something that it's going to make it, any worse, right? But I think that it's something that is unfortunate, if you ask me. I wish it would have been a little bit more free. Now, those of you that have played Division, right, and Gears, this game is going to be very familiar to you. And honestly, I think with the way that they have, of course, these mods in the game and, all these, different attributes that you can get, right? As you see on the screen, right, you see Fusion Blast, things like that, right? Those are mods, right? So I like that. It makes the game actually pretty fun. And that's one thing that Destiny didn't necessarily do. And that's one thing that I always felt that they needed to do, right? They had them tied, of course, to certain items, right? Certain items, would have, a particular perk, right? But it's not, a metric figure, right? It's not isometrics, right? It's not like, for example, as you see there, it says does 9 damage, right? It's nothing like that. And that's one thing that I always felt Destiny needed to do, and it didn't do, and they never did it, and then I don't think they ever will, which sucks. So, those of you that know me, right, know that I play Diablo as well. I'm looking forward to Diablo 2, the Resurrection, right, and of course Diablo 4. So Diablo is the sort of game where stats matter, right, and then the items that you get, right? Of course, each item, you might get the same item twice, right? But the stats on it are different. And that's very important, right? Because that is what you try to get each time to get the perfect roll so you can have, the best build. And that's what I think about this game. This game, like I said, when I first played it, the first day on Thursday, it was a little boring for me. Maybe because, the opening segment, right, the prologue, I wasn't feeling it, right? It's kind of boring. And I guess, like I said, I was looking forward to, playing the game so much that, maybe I overhyped myself. I don't know. But it was a little boring. So then yesterday, right, I played and I played again and I played again. I must have played, that second part, when you're already chosen, the type of altered you want to be, right? Because remember, right, based on the type of player you want to be, right, they have Technomancer, Pyromancer, Devastator, and I can't quite remember the other guy. But you got to choose, right? And that's what you call an altered, right? So there's something going on the planet that you're on, right, on Enoch, right, where there's some sort of, I don't know, cataclysm going on. Something's going on, right? Something with some sort of cosmic energies going on, and you just happen to get sort of infected by it, but it doesn't kill you because other people that do get hit by it, infected by it, it kills them. So you happen to get hit by it, you get attacked, but you don't die. You didn't die, you survived. So when that happens, you happen to become immortal, right? And you have these powers. So I chose Technomancer. That's the class I want to play, right? It's more of a long distance support class, so that's what I'm looking to do. And I was playing, right, yesterday, right? I must have played, I believe it's called the Rift, if I'm not mistaken. I must have played that about 3 or 4 times, right? I wasn't trying to grind a particular boss or try to grind for items. I know there's people out there that are, and that's absolutely fine because that is the point of the game, right? The point of the game is to find the right, segment, the right event to go ahead and continue your grind to get the item that you want, right? To get the drops. That's how Diablo works. Anybody that remembers Diablo 2 knows bail runs, right? You keep running the same mode, the same boss to keep getting the drop, see if you get your drop, right? So that's fine with me. I know what I'm getting into. I have no problem playing a game like that because it's all about the build. And if you don't know what a build is the type of way you want to play, right? For example, in this game, right, they have freeze, they have burn, they have leech, which, like, if you shoot somebody, you're leeching life from them. You have, burn, where you shoot somebody and it causes it procs, right? It's damage that happens after time, right? DOT, right? Damage after time. So I think that game, or this game, right, it's gonna really matter mostly about the build. It's gonna revolve completely around your build. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen towards the end game because we haven't gotten to that point yet. But I think it's gonna really depend on the gear that's out there, right? It's really gonna depend on the gear that's there, right? And to see what you can create with it, right? The type of build you can create. Now, Seven says, any thoughts on Outriders' art style and identity? How do you feel that it stands out visually from all the similar industrial sci-fi looking looter shooters? It's cool. You're gonna see, actually, in this footage later on, there's a mission where you go and try to rescue the lieutenant, and there's like this big ass, I don't know what the fuck it is, man. It looks like a dinosaur, honestly, man. It looks like a dinosaur that has been altered. And this lady on the screen that you see right now with the eye patch, her name is Shira. She was there with you because you were in cryogenic sleep, right? You were in cryogenic sleep for like 30 years, and these two people on the screen, they're friends, actually, right? But since you were asleep, and you were there when the events started happening, the cataclysmic events started happening on Enoch, you were put to sleep, and they stayed and they saw all this shit go down, right? So they're in a war right now, and you're gonna see, right? You go pick up a lieutenant or try to rescue a lieutenant, and there's this big ass fucking dinosaur looking thing, and she says, be quiet, because if they hear you, they'll fuck you up. Even other people that are altered, because you're not the only person that's altered, right? Even the other people that are altered, they all respect that creature, and it's huge. It's a big fucking creature, man. It looks almost like what is it, a berserker? I think it is from Gears. It's a big fucking, I don't know what the fuck it is. Like I said, it looks like a dinosaur, honestly. At least that's what it looks like to me, right? That's what first came to my mind. Like, man, it looks like some sort of altered dinosaur or something, right? And I don't know. I mean, I think with that right there makes it fairly interesting. Now, in terms of, sci-fi looking looter shooters, like Destiny, obviously, right, it's a first person game. It does have, third person elements, especially when you're in super mode, right? When you activate your super. But I think just the pace is definitely more enjoyable. I do prefer the pace of this game, right? Like Destiny sometimes is all over the place, right? And it's very fantasy looking, right? It's very bright, it's very vibrant, and this game has that effect too. But the fact that you're dealing, like, you'll see, like, it looks more real to me. Like, it really looks more like, not real, but like the events that are occurring and the way these people live makes it feel like, okay, yeah, shit's pretty fucked up right now. And then obviously when you're playing Destiny, right, it just looks so sci-fi, right? It looks so sci-fi, it looks so advanced. It looks like it's, fucking 1,000 years in the future, right? And this game, isn't that far away in the future too, right? But you just see, like, some elements of, like, not Earth, but more so like structures of Earth, right? And how people may live. Like, for example, if you played Gears of War 2, and if you remember Jacinto, and the shacks over in Jacinto, it kind of gives me that vibe, which is cool, right? Because it does look like a survivor's end camp, right? Where there's, they're there and they're settled, right? So I like that. I like that. I like that aspect of it. But in terms of the colors, right? I mean, it does have colors. It's, can be a fairly colorful game, but it's not over the top like Destiny, at least in my opinion. And so, getting back to what I was saying earlier, right, about what I played yesterday, right? I played this game. I think I must have played like, I don't know, like 3 hours, probably 4 hours, just repeating this right here. As you see, Rift Town, right? That's the map, right? So I was running Rift Town. I must have did it like 3 or 4 times, right, just to get the hang of it, right? See if I can get any other drops, see if I can get better loot, right? Because I wanted at least to get my guy on blue loot, right? The blue loot is a rare loot, right? I wasn't able to get anything from I wasn't able to get a legendary, but that's fine. I'm okay with that, right? So I at least wanted to get rare loot because rare loot, right, has mods, right? And with the mods, that's what you use to go ahead and create your build, right? Whether it's going to be freeze, like I said, or burn, or if it's going to be, anything that's damage over time, or even, buffs, right, to the damage that you have, right? The damage that you're outputting, like critical hit or anything like that, right? So I was trying to see if I can get some loot so I can go ahead and, you know, see how this works, right? How the gameplay is affected by the different buffs and different mods that you have. And once I got to that point, because remember, like I said, the first day I played it, right, on Thursday, right, I just played it. I wasn't really trying to get any drops. I was just trying to get the mechanics and all of that. And like I said, I thought it was a little boring. I had given it a 7. My good friend Sephiroth Evil, he gave it a 6. And he's the guy that told me about this game. So we were discussing that, and I told him, like, at first I didn't really like the sniper. It didn't feel snappy enough. But then, what I did was I lowered my my sensitivity, and then, I was fine. So as you see here, right, headshot, and you can, they pop, man. You see, so the gore is there. The gore is definitely there. And so after playing it a little bit more and getting the hang of it, I guess it also matters what type of guns you're using, right? How you play, right? Because then I was able to get a bolt action sniper rifle, as you'll probably see a little later on. And then that's when things got better, right? And so as I kept playing, right, I kept playing, and I started to enjoy it a little bit more. It reminded me of the time that I used to spend playing Gears of War. I used to play Gears of War a lot, back in the day, and I was a huge fan of the game. I really enjoyed Gears of War back then. And so, and then also like the Division, right? The Division had a similar mechanic where, you're always scouting the field when you're in cover, putting your reticle right where the guy's head is at, right? So then as soon as he pops up, you pop up and you push his wig back, So it took me a while to get used to that again, because it's been so long since I played a game like that, since the first Division. I mean, I had played Gears not too long ago, but I haven't really been playing Gears anymore, and consistently, right? So it took me a while to get the hang of it again. And then once I did, man, like it really took me back, and I like that. I definitely do. Now, in terms of the cover system, like I said, if you pay attention, right, you see how you can see that it says A when you're pointing at a wall. Now, if you point at a wall, for example, right, and you hold A or you hold X, it's going to take you there automatically, right? The animation is going to take you there. You can't interrupt it, right? But it's going to take you there automatically. And I don't like that necessarily. I like it to be a little bit more free. Even though Gears does allow you to turn a corner, it won't stick you to that wall automatically, right? That's one big difference, and that's one thing that I don't like, because it's more like the Division, and that's just something that it's just a personal thing, right? Some people like that, some people prefer it that way, because that way they have a little bit more control over where they're gonna go, instead of with Gears, where sometimes you might get stuck on a wall because you're fucking around or whatever, you're diving around, things like that. I prefer it a little bit more free that way, but that's just a personal choice, right? And so once I started playing and started getting the hang of the game again, I really started to enjoy it, honestly. I told my friend Sephiroth Evil that I had given it a 7, and I actually brought it up to an 8. Why? Because as I expected, it's solely reliant on gear, the way you're going to play, right? How are you going to play? What is your build going to be like? You know, and then of course there's going to be this ability that you unlock later on, and I hope you'll see it shortly, where your gun has poison damage, really, right? So once I unlocked that and I started using that against bosses, man, it just made it so much easier, right? Because not only that, I don't have to keep shooting this guy necessarily. Obviously, you want to keep shooting him to kill him faster, right? But the damage over time, right? Man, it just made it so much easier. So I can already see, those sort of elements that were there or are there in games like Diablo, right? Where the damage over time, right? After a while, you might proc something from your item, and then it causes, for example, lightning damage or poison damage or whatever, right? Fire damage, things like that. So I like that. I definitely do. And being that, lately I have been playing Diablo again, you know I guess playing Diablo recently, maybe a few times, these past few weeks, got me back into wanting to play games that are similar to this, right? In which, all these different ways of playing and the build and how things proc, very important, right? So I like that. And so as I kept playing, I started, getting the hang of it, starting to look, for different items that I can use, right? I didn't want you want to go ahead, as you see in the bottom, right in the middle. Those are your different abilities, right? So the left bumper, right, is a grenade. I'm not sure if you saw. I threw like a blue ball. It's like a grenade, right? So you throw that out. The middle one, I took that out once I unlocked the poison damage over time, right? Because it sticks to your gun until you switch guns, right, or until it runs out, right? And once I unlocked that, I switched that one, right? Because that one, it's like a turret. It's a frozen turret, right? So what it does is it freezes the enemies. And then the one on the right, it's more like a cluster bomb, right? So you put it down, and it just starts launching rockets at the enemies, right? So it's good. It's very good for crowd control. And so once I figured that out and started getting the drops, you'll see later on that I started getting drops that actually that enhance, right, those different abilities, right, where you get more damage for them. And so that's how this game is going to be played, right? That's how these sort of games are played, right? You need to make sure that whatever items you're using also, also go with the type of abilities you're going to have. Let me get my friend Sephiroth Evil. Looks like he's ready, so he can go ahead and say what he feels about it too. And so yeah, like, that's the thing, like, it's really going to be really dependent on the type of abilities you're going to have. So I ended up getting, one of those items, and it was awesome. I really started to see the the enhancement, right? I saw like, okay, wow, yeah, it really does help. Now let me go ahead and get my friend Sephiroth Evil here. He's already in the Discord, so let me go ahead and get him in. Seph, you there? If you're there, bro, you're on mute. If you could take your mute off, there you are.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, bro? Right on time. I was just talking about how, I was telling, you earlier, right, after playing it a second time, that remember the first time I thought it was like a 7, then I played it again and I gave it an 8. And I had mentioned that you felt it was like a 6. So, I'd been, rambling a little bit. So why don't you tell me, bro? Tell me how you feel about the game, what you like, what you dislike, the direction, just your thoughts on your experience playing this demo. Even though the demo is fairly short, it's not very long.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the demo, bro?
I think the game is. I gave it a 6 because the gunfight isn't too bad at all. I think I actually do enjoy the gunfights. Well, the gun battle, whatever you want to call it, right? The only
Mm-hmm.
thing is that some stuff that does stick out is how repetitive. I mean, the demo is short. That's why it doesn't really do it justice. But
Right.
if it does come out in full version and all the layouts for like, because you notice the game is kind of like a mini arenas. You kind of like travel, you fight your way, and then boom, you're welcome to this, arena type thing with setup of walls or whatever you want to call it. Certain architect that it's for your cover system.
Right.
So it kind of reminded me of Army of Two, like the first one, how they made it, and that's why kind of the game wasn't that popular. It kind of was like hit or miss or word of mouth type game. So I can see that being way too repetitive. But again, it's just demo. But there are people. There are some other YouTubers that apparently have access for more of the game. Now I don't know what they did. I don't know if they got on their knees. And what I'm talking about, right? But I don't know. I don't know what they did. But maybe they're
he
ambassadors.
wasn't
Who
saying
knows?
praying, guys. He wasn't saying praying. Okay. Something
So
else.
something else.
We're just not gonna
So
say it here. It's a family friendly
can't
show,
say it
sort
here.
of. Even though we
Family
curse.
friendly, right? So I don't know what they did, but they do have more gameplay, and they posted it online. And you can clearly see that most of the level design is kind of the same. And I mean, if you're into farming, like there's some people who like farming and stuff. Like me, I like farming, but man, after a while, the level design is kind of important. I think, I know that some people don't care about. It's kind of like some people don't care even about the story. Like to check out
Right.
like the guy from Doom. The guy said video games are like a porn. Like no one cares about the story. They just want to get into the action, right? But some people do care about.
Wow, that's a pretty interesting analogy, actually, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there's some people that do care about the story. Like those people are into like I don't know, RPG games and stuff, right?
Right.
So um, that's my first gripe. I also think um, the weapons are limited. I think they are. I mean, for me, I like the automatic shotgun. I think once I acquired that, it was pretty much GG. I did like it. I don't think the weapons really had like a good kick for it. I don't know, like a good kick. Like I don't know
Yeah, it's
how
not
to explain
snappy
that part.
enough.
It's not snappy enough, right? Right. It's kind of sluggish, or it's like you don't really feel that power,
Right.
being translated into the environment. You're fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it feels somewhat like I'm shooting like a paintball gun,
A pea
or I don't know,
shooter.
like pea shooter, right? Right. It almost sounds like the
Like a
person
BB
is.
gun.
Yeah, it's almost sounds like somebody's doing it with their mouth, going like pop, or like
Yeah.
some stupid sounds, man. I mean, I don't know. That was also kind of lame a little bit. I'm not gonna dog like some people dogged about the face animation. I mean, I thought they were pretty funny. Like especially when he screams, and there's a part in the game that he gets touched by the black stuff, and he starts yelling. He makes his ugly ass face. I thought that was pretty funny, but some people were making fun of it. But I mean, like look at Mass Effect. They're a AAA company, and look at their face animation. So
Right.
I mean, that's why I kind of like give them some slack, because I mean that's the other thing too. I'll get to that. To the third factor is the budget. For some odd reason, they didn't give these guys a good enough budget. I guess they don't have faith in them or something. But I think the budget's gonna hurt them. Maybe in the future, maybe later on they'll get. Once they see the game, if the game does do good and they have a certain count. I believe it's like a head count. They have to be online for the company to say, okay, you kind of have this player base. Let's give you guys some extra money so you can work on DLC maybe, or whatever. And because they don't have microtransactions, which I don't support, I think that might also hurt the game because they don't have money flow coming in. Besides, they just made a game, it's done.
Hmm.
Have fun with it, and give us a feedback kind of deal. Like they're crossing their fingers. Like hopefully their game will be some it'll start trending, and I can see that hurting them. But I mean, again, it's not their fault. It's not. That's why I didn't give them a six because they suck. I just think they have a lot of obstacles. It's in their way, and eventually you'll see it. I mean, there's more, but I don't want to bore people with more detail. I mean, I think the game does have potential to be cool, for a looter shooter, and but yeah, there's like these, I can see repetitive killing it. They need to change it up or something. I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe give the guy an ability to climb over stuff. I mean, but that's how it is. I mean, that's the logic of the game. You know, they made it in a certain way,
Hmm.
so they dictate the player style to play in this style, so the game can be, from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you kind of can tell. You can tell. There's always one way to get in. You fight, and there's always a way to get out. See
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's very very straightforward, very arena based. It's who did that? The Doom. The what was it? Not this one, not Doom Eternal, whatever. The one
Uh huh.
before it.
Doom
They were
2016.
like that. Yeah, because you used to go in, you walk through this corridor type
Uh
stuff, and
huh.
boom, you're in an arena.
And then it unlocks
Everything
the door.
locks. Yeah, it locks the door, and blah. You fight. You take cover. You do Doom stuff, and they knew that. See, they were like, oh, they're kind of suck. So then they tried to kind of give you this fake impression of open world, and in the new one, the internal,
Hmm.
and it's still the same stuff, but they opened up the walls, so now you're like, ooh, is this open world? But it's not. But they're like, oh, it kind of feels like it. But they give you they're like cock teasing, like, oh, just kidding, psych. That's what they're doing, man. But I think definitely the game has potential. I still give it a 6. I was gonna give it a 5, but like I do like loot or shoot. I like loot games, so that's kind of like a fun thing. And I think the game definitely. I hope it does good, man. That's what I'm hoping. I hope because we haven't had a good decent game in a long time, and I think hopefully it does good. I hope fly. What the car again? Flying with wings, people can fall.
People
What
can
was it?
fly. Yeah, people can
People
fly.
can crash, right? So hope people can fly, can do good, and you know you should make Alien an ambassador, and
That's right.
instead of messing around with these amateurs, I'll call them out, man. These amateurs, these self-proclaimed gamers, kind of like self-proclaimed experts, like they think they know it, but then you listen to them and they don't know what they're talking about. So, I need that sound. That sound. What do you call that? That horn sound. That sound when I'm
Boom, boom,
talking
boom,
bad about people.
boom.
Yeah, I need that sound. That what the hell that's called, man? That stupid sound.
You
It
know,
has a it
it's
has a
like
name.
it's like an alarm or a siren or
The
whatever.
alarm, the horn sound, right? The fire truck sound.
Well, I think I don't. And this is based off of a demo, right? Obviously, we're still basing our opinion off of a demo, right? So please, keep that in mind, right? This is not the final game, so there's still a lot left to be seen, right? But I do sometimes feel like I'm not necessarily in a war, and I'm supposed to be in a war, right? I mean, the game
Right,
tells you
right.
like, yo, we're
Yeah,
at
I agree.
war, we're at the final front line, and we're getting wrecked, and we need
With
your
the last
help.
humanity.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I'm at war. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure there's gonna be a point where it's gonna get a little bit more hectic with enemies on screen. But what I'm saying is like I don't feel like when I'm shooting, like we were talking about, like it doesn't feel like I'm shooting like the way the guns are shooting and the way it sound, and I don't know, like it doesn't feel like yo like fuck man, like shit is fucked up right now, like it's thick right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get that impression. I get more so like let's get some enemies on the screen, and you see that's what I'm telling you right here, guys. Like I was saying before, that's the turret that you get, with those little cluster strikes, and little missiles, right? So I just feel like we're there running through these enemies. Like I feel that, and that doesn't mean that I'm OP or anything like that. It's more so that they're just throwing these enemies on screen so you can just get through them instead of actually making it feel like yo we're in a fucking war. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that what they're gonna do eventually is they're gonna make it feel like all these enemies are gonna be like bullet sponges to make it feel like you're in a war, and that's gonna be a problem, right? Because it's gonna lead to a lot of frustration, right? Because like, damn man, how many times I gotta keep shooting this guy for fucking 10, 15 minutes to kill him? You know what I'm saying? So like, that's not the right approach to make it feel like you're in a war. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel that way, But
Don't forget they adapt. Remember, if you use the same gun and you shoot him in the head, like what was it? I shot one guy in the head like 300 rounds, and then the enemies adapt. You have to change your gun and shoot him with something else. That sucks, man. You should be able to, at least do some serious, damage. You know, I don't. That's the thing. I hate bullet sponges, man. The Division was like that. The first one.
Yeah, yeah, I was talking about that actually. Division. I mean, Division. The concept was great, but then then of course they started nerfing weapons because of the Dark Zone, right? And then it fucked up everything, right? Because then your build was shit. And that's what I was saying here, right? Like my first impression in the game was that, you know, at first it was boring. It felt boring. But then as I kept playing yesterday, right, I must have played, Rift Town like 3 or 4 times, and I felt that, okay, once I started getting these items, right, these drops that had mods, it felt a little bit more fun because I see that my items are procking, damage over time and things like that. So it's really easy to go ahead and manage what's going on, right? Like you don't feel overwhelmed, like fuck, this gun, I can't fucking do anything. This shit sucks. These guys are rushing me, and you know what I'm saying. Like no, like with those sort of items and those sort of builds, you're gonna have better control. So, you know,
Hmm.
I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that, but honestly, I'm still gonna play the game. I'm not bashing Outriders. I've been looking forward to this game. I'm just very critical, right? Because I've been playing games for over 30 years, right? And games like these, right? I mean, I've been playing shooters, fuck, man, over 20 years. And so I'm very critical, right? I'm very critical of these sort of things. So I know what I like to see in a game, and if I'm going to get behind a game, there's certain things that I want to be able to experience, right? And certain gameplay styles that I want to be able to have available. And so I like the game. I like the game. Based on my judgment from the demo. Like I said, I do plan on buying this game. I do plan on having it day one. So if anyone is out there is interested in playing Outriders or wants to go ahead and link up, let me know. But yeah, I will be playing this game, and I just want to see because, like I said, at the end, I just know for a fact that this game is going to be extremely build reliant. That it's going to be like Diablo, like I was saying earlier, right? You play the game to get the right role, to get the best role, so that when you play and based on the abilities you have equipped, right, you're going to be able to go ahead and just fuck shit up, right? Because now you have not only the right ability, but you have the right armor or the right weapon that procs in addition to what your ability already does, right? So it's just going to be a matter of seeing what gear that they have. What is a gear that they're going to have out there that is going to enhance the way you play? You understand what I'm saying? Like it's going to be really dependent on what different styles of gear. You understand what I'm saying? Like not just the classes, but like the sort of percentages, right? And then the sort of you know mods. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like what are the mods gonna be like towards the end? That are really gonna make you be like, oh man, I gotta get that drop. Like that's what I need to see, right? From what I was able to gather now so far, I liked it, but in order for this game to have longevity, right? At least for me, it's really gonna be dependent on what sort of gear is out there for me to get, and how can I use that gear to change the way I play my game, and maybe change the abilities that I'm using, right? To see what's more efficient to continue to grind. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, right? I mean, the only way to tell is to be able to play the game at the end, right? So I'm looking forward to it, but I think that's one thing that you need to be mindful of if you're going to play this game, right? You need to be mindful that, you know, the way you play the game and what you're going to be doing towards the end is really going to depend on the type of gear that they've made for you to get, right? Because if the gear sucks and the mods suck and, all these things suck, it's going to get boring fast. But if the different attributes that they have to the gear, right, the mods are like super fucking OP, because I mean, fuck, we're playing against the computer. We're not playing online, so I should have every right to be as OP as I want to be. Remember, you mentioned that before. If I'm playing by myself, I want to be able to be as OP as I want. I shouldn't have anybody try to nerf me or anything like that, because that's the whole point of
Right.
these games, right? The whole point of these loot games is to be as OP as possible, right?
Yeah, as long as they don't pull Borderlands, because that's what they did with Borderlands, man. That's why I stopped playing. They started nerfing guns because people were crying that You shouldn't be killing bosses in 20 seconds or 10 seconds. They're like, you can't do that. That's not right. I remember some of the posts. It was on Reddit, and they were saying like, man, these bosses should take 45 to an hour. Like, yo, bro, I don't have time to fight a boss for an hour.
Yeah, like
You know
what
what
do
I'm
you
saying?
do
We're not
for
gonna
a living, bro? I don't have time for that.
I don't have time to fight a boss for an hour, man. This isn't World of Warcraft. I'm fighting by myself. I want to kill the guy quick and move on.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is even in Diablo, right? Even in Greater Rift runs, like
Mm-hmm.
I was playing Greater Rift runs, and you got guys, I was doing Greater Rift 110, and fuck, man, these guys were Paragon like 1,000 and shit, man. But these guys were melting these bosses in less than 10 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
because it's now about being efficient. It's not about being able to kill the boss and it being an experience killing the boss. Like, no, that's not the whole point of a loot game. The whole point of the loot game is to be able to, gather loot as efficiently as you can to get the best drop that you can while you're doing that from that boss or from that level, right? So it's efficiency, right? So if it's going to be efficiency, then you need to be as OP as you can, right? Because you want to be able not just to do it for yourself, but help others as well. That's the whole point of these games, right? It's the community, right? So you want to get with someone and, play in the same room as someone, right? That is so OP that he can just be like, yo, let's go. I don't got time,
Mm-hmm.
but let's get this done quickly and let's get through this, right?
Right.
So that's the whole
You
point
want to
of
be you want to be efficient.
exactly.
You want to manage your time because your time is important. You don't want to sit there and for an hour. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it was I'm trying to remember. It was a tree boss in Borderlands. It was a floating temple, I think. So everybody was farming that. That was like the ideal boss because he dropped anything in the loot table. So people were crying about it. They were like I was killing that dude with that robot flank, whatever his name was, turn invisible, high damage, whatever. Killed the guy in like 5 seconds. Well, they nerfed my shit. Well, guess what happened? Well, now it takes me forever. Now don't do damage, and then they nerfed the abilities, just to like hinder you. They said it was also you can try different things. No, they didn't because they nerfed the other characters too. After that, so eventually, now you have to wait and refarm some other stuff, and it
Yeah,
became a chore. It became
exactly.
a chore, and I don't want to do a chore. I don't want to work. I want to have fun.
I don't want to work. I already have to work to play games.
Mm-hmm.
So don't make me
Right.
work while I'm playing games. You understand what I'm saying? Like yo, like that's the whole point of these games, man. Like, yeah, at first it's gonna take a while because you have to get to the max level, and then when you're at max level, you're still not getting the max stats right on your items, right? You're working towards that though, right? Because say for example, in Diablo, right? Diablo, right? When it comes to element damage, the maximum is 15%, right? And on that item, right? On that particular item. So sometimes you'll get a drop and it's 9% or 10%. So you keep either trying to grind the game to get a better one that's going to be 11%, 13%, or even if you get lucky enough to 15%, right? Or you're going to try to get as many materials as possible and gold as possible to try to re-roll that same item to get it to the max, because that's the whole point. You want everything to be maxed out. Why? Because when you have every stat maxed out on that item, right, that you can, right, because you can't have everything maxed out. I mean, you can, but it's really hard to do that, right? But you want to do the best that you can, especially if it's an elemental sort of item, right? You want the max elemental damage on it for your build. So the reason you do that is so that when you go play, you are efficient. And with efficiency, of course, you save time. And with that efficiency, the rate that you'll be able to get a better tiered item or a better drop is greater, right? Because now you can do this same mission 10 times in 20 minutes as compared to 3 times in 20 minutes, right? So now your chances of getting a better drop or even something that you may not even think you need, but you're like, oh, wow, that's cool. I can save that for another build with another ability, right? So the whole point of the game is efficiency, right? It's to be able to, grind the game and, go through this efficiently. So I just hope that depending on what gear that they have towards the end, right, for end game, like World Tier 15 and all of those things, I need to see, and I'm going to see, right, because I'm going to get the game, but I need to see what people can fly have set up. Like you see right here on the screen, right? These are the Technomancer skills, right? So I switched mine. I went and made it blighted rounds, right? So now that I have toxic damage, right? Poison damage, So it's about being able to go ahead and get gear, right, that fits, right, that skill, right? Because there are definitely mods out there, right, that increase the damage on your pain launcher as you see on the right hand side of the screen, right? So now you have to set up your build in that way based on the skills you're going to be using, right? So, and not just that, there's going to be other builds where you might get 80% extra damage as compared to 100% damage, right? So now you're not just looking for that one item that gives you that extra percentage, but now you're looking for the item that gives you the max percentage, right? So in order to be able to be successful in getting that, you need to be able to be efficient, right? Because if you're taking too long, it's going to take you forever to get that drop unless you get lucky, right? So that's my concern. My concern is I hope that they don't start nerfing things just because people want a bigger challenge, because that's not the way loot games are played necessarily. It's about being able to be efficient so then you can melt all these bosses easily. That's what makes it more rewarding. That's what Diablo 3 ended up doing right. Diablo 3 with the Greater Rifts, after a while, you get to the end of the Greater Rift and all you see is fucking lights, colors because of all the fucking drops. Even though you might not get a drop that you need, at least you feel like you accomplished something because of the drops that you're getting, right? So the more you're able to do in an hour, the more efficient you are and the more rewarding you're gonna feel, right? It's just a simple psychological mechanic, right? That you see these things on your screen. Like I may not need these staffs or these helmets, but the fact that I'm seeing all of these drops makes me feel like I at least am working towards something. And I might need the materials, I might not need this, but at least it makes me feel that I'm getting towards something. You know what I'm saying? Like my time is being invested into drops that I may or may not need. So it's very important to see, at least for me, what what is people can fly gonna have for us once we start getting towards end game. What are the items that they're gonna have? What gear sets are gonna be there? That's what I'm looking to see. But based on what I played so far, I can see where it's gonna go. I like the direction because I like I said, based on the skills you're using, I like it. I like it, but I need to see more. I need to see more, and in order to see more, obviously I'll have to buy the game. So, like I said not too long ago, everyone that's watching, everyone that's a fan of Outriders, I will be playing this game. This is ALIANZ, of course, with Sephiroth Evil here on A Gamer's Opinion on YouTube, Gotta Be Legend TV, and I will play this game. I will play it. I will buy it because I want to see what I can do with my build towards the end game and how efficient I can become. Now, if people can fly and Square Enix start nerfing things because people are saying, man, this is too easy, or like you said, these bosses should be harder to kill. I
It
don't
should
have
be
time.
legendary.
Yeah, like I don't have time. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm 34 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I normally work in the evening, right? Afternoon, evening. So I don't have time to do all of that, right? So I want to be able to load up the game, grind out a few bosses real quick, and be efficient to get a better drop so I can work on my build and then potentially help others, right? Because that's how, for example, Diablo is, right? You might get into a lobby where you got a guy that's fucking Paragon 3,000 and he's like, yo, just stay here. I'm going to go ahead and do this for you so then you get up there quickly, right? So you can make another character so you can try another build, right? So that's the approach I think the community needs to take, right? Don't complain about, oh, these bosses are so easy, because the game isn't about the bosses, man. The game is about the loot.
Mm-hmm.
The game is
About the
about the
loot.
loot and what loot you get and how you can make your build. If you start focusing on, oh, these bosses are too easy, and you start complaining about it, and then they start making them bullet sponges, this game's gonna get boring fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so,
Yep. And that's you should talk. You should mention about also they need to not make the bosses over complicated. Like I'm telling you right now, like I don't know if you experience it, but I experienced this, man. I noticed the bosses here. I don't know if it's to call them bosses or mini bosses, whatever they're called, but they get random attributes every time you start the game over. Like not over, but let's say you save your game, you
Hmm.
turn it off, you go back in. Well, those enemies, those bosses, or what they call them, altars,
Yeah, the
whatever.
altered. Yeah.
Those guys, those guys, they get a reroll on their skills, and they gave me like the worst roll. They gave me the guy had the tornado, the flaming tornado. He had these straight out of Diablo 2. They gave him the sort of like proximity mine that spawns like behind you, because when you try to snipe, they spawn behind you, and it's like a red laser and it spins around.
Right.
And then he had he had the aura of frozen, and I'm trying to remember it. I don't know if I don't know if he was slowing me down or what, but he was healing also. So he will freeze you. He'll heal because the freezing lasts 2 seconds. I think it's like 2.5 seconds. And then he heals. So you'll have a short time to interrupt him,
Hmm.
so he won't heal. But then if you're far back, the tornado chases you. And then
Yeah.
if you're trying to snipe or something,
I
then
had a
you have the
captain like that.
stupid thing behind.
Yeah, I had a captain
Yeah,
like that. The guy
you know,
that you
captain.
take his head off, like you rip his head off. That guy, he had the fucking tornado. That guy, he must have put like 3 or 4 of them out there. I'm like, oh shit, you
Yeah,
know.
yep.
I was like, yo, I gotta fucking make a move, bro. This motherfucker's
Yeah,
gonna kill
you
me.
gotta start moving and stuff. And I think imagine fighting that, and then people cry about it, and then they're like, "Well, let's make them harder now." And then the game, then it becomes more annoying because now you're dependent on other people. Like, let's say you want to farm, you want to do it by yourself, you want to do it quick. Well, now you have this obstacle, and then it's not challenging. Like cheese, like being cheesy is not challenging. It just gets kind of dull after a while. I think. I don't know. I don't. I like. I don't like cheesy challenge, I guess, or I don't mind challenging, but I don't like cheesy challenge when you run out of bullets shooting at a boss in the head, because
Hmm.
even I don't know if a lot of people did you reach tier 5 and 6 or whatever.
World Tier 5, yeah,
I mean, you see the difference. I mean, now imagine tier 15 or whatever the max is.
yeah,
You're probably
15.
gonna need a whole squad just to take one captain down, probably. Who knows? But
Right.
hopefully they don't rely on that. Hopefully they don't make the game over cheesy and call it difficulty. And that's the thing. The Division did that also, and that was also like a really dumb thing. Like what was it? It was that insurgent that stupid wannabe raid. You have to fight a truck. It's like a fire truck stuck in the back, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
we're pinned
yeah,
down in the middle, and I mean it takes forever. And
yeah. The
I
Lincoln
mean,
Tunnel, remember?
the was it the Lincoln Tunnel?
I
Was
think
it
it.
that? It was one of the raids. It was
Yeah,
like this
yeah,
big thing you had to do, and there's a stupid scenario where it was one of their first ones, and we were all pinned down in the middle, and then eventually one guy has to run, use your buff for armor, go and activate something so you can plant a bomb or some stupid. I'm like, man. And then every bad guy there was like a bullet sponge, like the shotgunner, like it took what was it, like 30 rounds with 2 reloads and stuff just to take one guy down. I'm like, God, goodness gracious, man. Like, man, this is it's not rough. It just gets boring after a while. And then especially you're gonna need a squad now, because now you can't do it by yourself. Now you need a squad. So what do? Oh well, I can't enjoy this content because now I've been noobified because people said it was content. It was too easy.
yeah. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, let's nerf the guns too. By the way.
yeah, that's one thing that they can't do. And as you guys see right here, right, I went ahead and enabled the skill, right. So now you see my sniper is green. So now I have that toxic damage over time. I like that, and I know there's going to be drops that are going to enable that as well, right? That might help with the
Yeah.
duration of it and also the damage of it, which is good. That's what it's supposed to do, right? So I'm looking forward to that. But like I said, it's going to matter. It's going to depend on what People Can Fly has put into the game towards now end game drops, and how do they affect your skills, right? And how can you change the way you play, right? Because like you said, if they're going to be if they don't happen to nerf anything, right, and you want to be able to play the game by yourself, then these drops and the way they work with your skills are going to be extremely important. So that's why, I really want to see, what are the drops towards the end of the game going to be like, right? Because if they're going to be shitty drops, right, and shitty stats on them, right, then it's going to be really hard to play this game alone, right? And grind, these bosses and things like that. But if
Yeah,
if it's
solo
really well
player.
balanced and like, okay, yeah, this works really well, then man, this game is going to be really fun, because then you could be like, yo, I could just go play an hour, 2 hours, play this mission real quick, boom, 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 knock it out, maybe run it like 10 times, see what drop I get today, you know, that's fine. But if the loot sucks towards the end of the game, right, and it doesn't fit well with the skills that the character has, then it's going to be a real pain in the ass, because then they're going to force you to play with others, and they're going to force you to play with different type of classes, right? It's not going to be able to just, a group of fucking technomancers. No, it's going to have to be, one of each probably, right? And
Right, you're gonna need each one exactly you're gonna need each element eventually. Right, right.
and I hope that's not the case, right? I mean, then again, of course, you have skills like freeze, like I said, and burn and toxic and things like that. So I want to see what the end game gear is like, right? What are they doing? What did they put in the game? How is that end game gear, the legendary gear in particular, right? How is that gonna enhance the way I can play the game with my skills, or the skills that I've chosen for my character? So based on that, and what I've already seen, I can see that yes, they have implemented those concepts right into the game, and it's cool, right? But then again, I'm only using rare gear. I'm not using legendary gear, right? I don't have any legendaries yet.
I got
So
legendary.
you got a legendary? I don't got a legendary yet.
Yeah, I got a machine gun. I got it from a captain.
Nah, I didn't get
I
shit
did
yet.
that. They have apparently I got it from that captain, the one that I fought near the end of one of the missions, I think. Well, apparently, Baki told me there's a loot cave. You can refarm it over and over. Like, that's what he's been doing. I think this is the second day he's been farming it for 9 hours,
No, I can't do that.
and in 3 days he got two legendaries. He got an assault rifle and I believe another assault rifle. They
So,
look okay, kind of weird.
yeah,
They
but
look
in
like
3 days you only get two assault rifles. That's just really bad, then, bro. That's not efficient, then.
Well, that's why it's because they're limited. I think they only have I think the assault rifles only have three variants. Machine gun has one. I think they have one sniper. Oh, in the demo that
Right in
is.
the demo.
And sniper's one. I think they have a shotgun. I think, and that's it. So I mean, if the loot table is circulating around on based on those, I mean, yeah, the odds are pretty. Because I got bored. I tried to do it for I went 2 hours strong and I gave up. Then I got bored, and that's why I gave it a 6 too. Because I have a feeling that I might be limited. But one fun fact, which I do like, is I do like their crafting. I don't know if you spoke about that yet.
No.
Crafting in the game is pretty cool. They actually took an idea from games like Diablo and stuff, and basically what you do is, let's say you have an item that has a really cool perk. You take it to the crafting, wherever it is, wherever you do it at. You take that item and you can save that actually skill and you can apply it to another weapon. So like let's say you like
Like a
the
nice
ability of
cube.
Ash. Yep. Like you take the Ash skill,
Uh
you
huh.
save that Ash skill, and I don't know. I don't know. Should I explain what Ash does?
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
kind of slows people down. It puts them in place. It's from the fire, the fire character. I don't know their freaking names. The fire chick,
Oh,
the guy, whatever.
pyromancer thing it is.
Pyromancer, right? Pyromancer's ability. So basically it's kind of like frozen. It just freezes the character, and I think it debuffs the enemy for 8 seconds. I think I don't know. Whatever it does, it just locks them in place, and you can put a shotgun slug in their head. So basically, you can save that, and then let's say you get a sniper rifle, a legendary one that has a good perk, and then it has a crafty perk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can craft it, and you can take that perk out and put that good perk you like into that rifle. And then apparently, every time you break down a rifle, you get certain mats that you
Right.
can use to craft some other crap. So I think maybe that's why the items suck, because eventually they probably want you to keep destroying your weapons, and then so you can use it to craft. So eventually, in the end of the day, your character is probably going to end up wearing a bunch of crafted weapons, crafted material stuff. That's
Right,
what I think.
purely custom.
Right, exactly. So eventually, it's the drawback is you're gonna get a lot of sucky stuff, and that's one thing I noticed. Like after the 2 hours, 3 hours I was in, I mean, like after you max out all the materials, I think scraps is 1,000. I think titanium is 5 or 10. So once you can see you can max yourself out, especially if you find a way that you can always kill a boss constantly. Like I said, like Baki doing 8 hours a day
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't have time for that.
for 3 days straight. Um, so I mean, if you have the time, I guess you're definitely gonna feel legend. But but
Yeah,
uh,
no pun intended.
but yeah, but I mean, in 3 days he got only three legendaries, and in one whole entire 8 hours he got one. And I don't like those odds, and I believe if I correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. I think that last patch that they actually did tweak the drops because after they did that demo patch, I was getting I noticed I was getting a lot more crappier drops. I wasn't getting like much blues anymore. I was getting a lot of greens and a lot of whites. So I don't know. They did something screw. Maybe it was to to mess up with that loot cave that people were utilizing probably. But I can see them doing that. See, so that's the other thing. See, so when people find exploits, they're gonna go. They don't. That's the thing. I mean, some people see it as good, some people see it as bad. I think to me, it's fine, especially if their drop rate sucks. Hey man,
Well, I
people are
mean, if
gonna
it's a
do what they
single
gotta
play,
do.
if it's a single player game, it shouldn't matter.
Shouldn't matter exactly. Like what why would it bother anybody what I'm doing in my own little world game, right?
Right.
Nobody's in there. But I mean, again, just like Borderlands, people keep crying about it. Like I don't know why they cared, but that's something that people did bring up. They brought about saying, "Oh, you're killing a boss too fast. You're getting too much loot. Shouldn't be that way. Can't have that. Oh, by the way, we're gonna nerf your gun."
That's so counterproductive, man. That doesn't make any sense, man. If you're playing a loot shooter or any loot based game, the whole point of the game is to feel like you're accomplishing something with your time. So even if it's a bunch of drops that you're getting, it doesn't mean that it's going to be something that you actually need. But it's the rush that you get when you see the drop. Like, oh shit, is this finally going to be the one that I need, or is this finally going to be the one that gets me closer to be able to complete my build? Right? Like people, I guess they don't know how to play these games, or they didn't really play these sort of loot games. Like really, you know what I'm saying? Like people
I,
get it
I think
confused.
I think in some ways some people should do it out of spite, man. I
That
just
too.
think some people just they're like they're that guy. You ever went to a party and they always have this one person who's just really awkward, and they're just kind of like a bummer, and they just they're in the party. They could have a good time if they want, but they choose to be like the one standing in the corner being awkward. It's kind of like that. So they're
Yeah.
in the game and they're just being awkward, and they're like, oh, this boss should take me an hour to fight. This fight should be legendary. Like, what are you doing? What? Go read a book, man. I mean, if you want something epic or something, read like I don't know, like one of those old game pros or something. I don't know, man. Do something. I mean, like I want to kill this guy. I want to loot. I want to go back to the main menu, restart, and keep farming. That's Borderlands stuff. I want to just keep farming until I get what I want. Hopefully it's a good role and move on. But nah, man, a lot of these people, man, they want this, I don't know, gladiator type battle with their boss, and they want the crowd to scream like, oh, yeah, like you did it, Hacksaw XXX deep throat guy, their username, whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some stupid name. So yeah, I don't know. Hope I like I said. I mean, right now, just summarize it. That's why I gave it a 6. I think that the game does have potential. I hope it does good. It'd be fun. That will kind of hold the, you know, keep us there for until Diablo 2 comes out, and then probably go enjoy that. See how
Yeah,
that comes out.
I'm definitely gonna get that Diablo 2 Resurrection or Resurrected, whatever you want to call it. I'm definitely getting that shit.
Diablo erection, you know. So, and that's what it sounds like, right? It's like, hey, yo, man, you gonna play Diablo erection?
Like
Yeah,
what?
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be rock hard fun. But but yeah, man. I mean, I think that's gonna be, all right. And hopefully hopefully their budget increases. Hopefully they bring more stuff to the table. I'm hoping they were just holding back. I really hope they were just holding back in the demo, and once you get the full game, you'll get more
I think they were. I really do.
cool.
I really do think they were
But the,
because
the problem is the problem is the people already playing it now. That was the final build. According to what they're saying on their dumb videos. They're like saying this is it, guys. Let's go, boys. How they always get hyped. Well, I think this is the final build, and I don't know. Maybe in the future, maybe down the line, they'll bring more. They'll have something really cool. I think what is the online 4 players, right, in a lobby?
I think it's three. Is it?
Three? Oh,
Yeah, I think it's three.
I thought it. So
I think
three
it's three. I
players
think it's three. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
in the servers. What is it? Is it peer to peer or they don't? I know it's not dedicated, of
No, I
course,
think it's
but
P2P. Yeah.
P2P. Yeah, right. So, well, you just gotta see. I'm not hyping it up either. I won't talk bad about it either. But I think the game is gonna be okay. Um, but they're probably definitely hoping that it'll come out like word of mouth. The game will spread through other players and hype it up.
Yeah, and streamers. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be
Streamers.
streaming it too. I'll probably stream it here on YouTube, but definitely on Twitch. Definitely. So make sure you follow us there on Twitch as well. But I
Yeah,
mean,
because you do it on Facebook, so you're gonna get blocked if you curse. I don't think you can curse anymore.
yeah, I don't think so either, right?
No, you can't curse, man. Can't drop the f bombs. So dumb.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the game, right? As long as they don't start nerfing items just because people feel like they need a challenge or anything like that,
Dude, they're
because
gonna nerf them. I hope they do, because I'm one of those people. I'm that awkward kid. I'm just kidding.
I just hope they don't nerf, man. Like, why are you gonna nerf it, man? Like, yo, like, the whole point is to be efficient, man, so we can get the other gear. I mean, then you might just get a lot of duplicates where you're getting the same item, but in the
That's
same
how you get
percentage.
mats, man. Gotta get those mats.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like you need to be able to get the mats so you can craft this item and then try to get the max percentage on your gear, right? That's the whole point. The whole point of these sort of games isn't to be able to have a challenging time killing the boss. No, if you're playing it for that reason, then you have the wrong perception of the game. The point of the game is to keep playing the game to get the best percentage or the best damage,
What the loot?
statistic, right, on your loot.
Hmm.
That's the point of the game. You don't play the game because, oh, you want this boss to take you 30 minutes to kill. No, you want to be able to melt this guy so fast that you just want to see what drop you're going to get so you can start working on your build. And you keep playing and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing until you get the percentage that you're looking for, or the number that you're looking for. Right? That's the whole point of the game. It's not about the bosses, man. It's about the loot. And I just hope that people, if you're watching, if you're listening, man, don't complain about anything about that. Don't do it, man, because you're gonna fuck this game up, man. Seriously. Just play the game and hope that, the loot is good, of course, because that's like I said before, I need to see what the end game loot is gonna be like. What are the modifiers like? What are the drops like? But you need to keep that in perspective, guys, that it all depends on the isometrics, right? The metrics on the loot. That's why you're playing the game. You're playing the game to get the best drop you could possibly get. And that way you can go and help others that are working towards being that as well. That's the whole point of the game, just like in Diablo. Nobody plays Diablo to fucking have a hard time killing fucking Mathiel, right? Or fucking Diablo. No. They keep playing this shit, and even that, the greater rifts are even harder than the bosses. And nobody plays it for that. Nobody plays it because they want to have a hard time killing the fucking Rift boss. No, they keep playing it because they want to get this guy killed as fast as possible so they can run it again and get the fucking drop. So please, folks, if you're going to play this game, don't complain about that. Just play the game and try to make it so that, you know, we're all able to be efficient to get the best loot we possibly can. That's it. That's the only reason why you're playing this game. If you don't see that and you don't understand that, then maybe this isn't the game for you. But you're not playing this game necessarily for the challenge. You're playing this. The only challenge in this game, or in these sort of games, is the challenge of getting the loot that you're trying to look for, or the loot that you're aiming for, right? The percentages and the figure, the statistical figure that you're looking for. That's why you play the game. Nothing else. What do you think?
In the game's gonna be a 6 out of 10.
I think you know, once we get the full game, I think definitely 8. I think it'd definitely be an 8. But like I said, it's gonna
I'll
depend.
give it a 5.5 out of 10.
It's gonna depend, man. It's gonna depend on, you know, what that end game loot is like, right? What's gonna happen towards the end. But I think 8 is definitely plausible. I would be surprised if it got higher, but you know, it's something that will remain to be seen, right? Depending on, you know, what drops you get and the builds that you can make, right? And based on the skills that are available, you know. But I liked it, you know. Like I said, at first I thought it was boring. I thought it was very boring at first, and I guess that might have been because of the loot that I had. But then as I started getting better loot and started, you know, seeing, you know, how I can mix and match the loot with my skills, I was like, okay, this is actually a little bit better than I thought, right? So then I started enjoying it a little bit more, and so I raised my score to, what did I give it, a 7 or an 8? I don't remember. I think it was an 8. So
What, your review?
yeah, I think it was like a 7 or an
Just
8.
give it a 7.
Was it a 7?
Yes, you get a 7.10.
So 7, right? Can I get to an 8? I think so. But I think this game definitely has a lot of potential. The potential is definitely there. You know, like, you know,
Remember,
Sephiroth says,
money.
they need money,
So
man.
the more hype you give them, their budget gets higher, the more they can do for the game. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, you know, they might even have, you know, special events, you know, that they may have available, just like in Destiny, right? You know, throughout the course of the year, right? Depending on the time of the year, they have, you know, seasonal events, you know, where, you know, they might have a Christmas thing or something. I don't fucking know, but that would be
They
nice to
better
see.
have the Iron Banner in Outriders.
Nah. But they need to have things like that, you know, little things like that that they can implement, you know, especially if they see that people are playing the game. So it's really going to depend on, you know, the community, right? The community needs to really, number one, be very optimistic with the game. Don't butcher the game already. Don't kill the game from the first game. And, you know, also just be mindful, right, that, you know, the amount of people playing the game is what's really going to be able to put this game out in the forefront. Now, Marquise says, I think what's hurting it is the comparison between other games, understanding how to play the game, and I wish the demo would have given access to crafting. It really opens up the game. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Absolutely. You know, I think crafting, like we said before, you know, crafting is really going to be, you know, the bread and butter of this game, right? Because then you have all sorts of possibilities, right, on how you want to play the game. But like I said, you know, it's not about the bosses, guys. It's about the loot. It's always about the loot, getting the best role that you can, and being able to do it efficiently, so that you can keep playing the game and don't feel like you're actually doing a chore, but rather, even if you get a drop, even if it's not the drop that you need, at least you got the drop and you feel like, wow, you know, even though I did grind this boss for 10 minutes, I got a drop. Even though it's not something I need, I can still use these materials. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, it's about being able to feel like you're accomplishing things while you're working towards your goal of getting the roll or drop that you need. That's what it's about. So, I hope that, you know, the game is successful. You know, I really do like what I see. I just hope that, you know, people give it a chance. Give it a chance. Don't bitch about nerfing weapons. Please, don't bitch. We're not fighting against each other, guys. Don't bitch about nerfing weapons. That's the number one thing, man. Like, I guess that's why they didn't even want PvP in the game to begin with, right? So people don't bitch about nerfing this or nerfing that. No. No, the whole point of these games is to be as OP as I can't continue to repeat this, man. The whole point of these games is to be as OP as you possibly can so you can be efficient. Please get that, guys. That's so important.
Being OP is okay. It's gonna
Yes.
it's okay to be OP. It's not bad. It's actually a part of life, the circle of life. You know, Kuna Matata, whatever. You got it's OP. It's okay. It's okay
Yes.
to be OP.
Yes.
It's not bad. It's not. You know, whatever, clingy or I don't know all those weird terms people use nowadays. It's okay to be OP.
Yes.
It's not
Especially in a
bad. It's
single
not a
player
bad
game.
thing.
OP is not bad.
Yeah.
Bosses being OP is bad.
Yes, the bosses should not take 2 hours. Trust me, I played World of Warcraft, man. I'm telling you, once you wipe after fighting for an hour and doing it again, and something lasting 5 hours to kill, it's not fun. It's really boring. That's why I don't play no more.
Yeah, man. Like, you being OP is okay.
Oh, actually, a good one is probably what more people can relate to, like Destiny. Imagine doing a raid. Remember, I think it was one of our raids that when we first started. Remember, we had to get into a group and blah blah blah, and I think how long did it take? I want to say 4 hours. 4 hours, I think it was, because people kept wiping, people kept leaving, go back to looking for Guardian, getting another person so we can have a whole squad, going back in there, starting
And you needed
over.
a Gjallarhorn too, because the
And
bosses were
well,
so
yeah, well the
OP.
Gala, well yeah, yeah, and you also did a Galahorn and whatever another junk. So imagine, like doing that. I mean, some people of course they say, "Oh, well, I got people. I did the raid in 2 minutes." No, you didn't. Long bosses suck. Everybody knows it. It's not fun.
No,
It's
it's
not.
not. It's
It's
not.
not. It gets boring. 5 hours. I mean, man. I want to say someone once told me that they. Who was it? I want to say it was. Oh, I know who it was. So we have another friend called Nero, and this was during the getting the Black Spindle when the first Black Spindle came out, and that was a nightmare. I remember,
Yeah.
and that's how I met him too. By the way, that's the funny part. So anyway, short story. So I was surfing, minding my own business, and I was searching for a group because everybody was sleeping, and this is during the time where I slept in the day and played at night, I guess, because everything sucked. And I remember I ran into this guy, and it was probably 7 p.m. and we couldn't finish it. We couldn't keep going. We kept trying, and it was probably 4 a.m. when I gave up. But then the next day I did it because that guy was a good squad, and I was able to do it. So, but I mean, it wasn't fun. It was actually so miserable, like to fight this boss that you just couldn't kill because your weapons sucked. The weapons, weren't too efficient enough, and we were all max level. We all were able to do, raids and everything, but apparently our items were not good enough or able to kill the boss fast enough
Hmm.
to to get our black spindle. And I think if you beat it really fast, you get the ship, I guess. Well, it didn't happen. So anyway, so what we ended up doing was I partied the next day with another group, and we all used swords, and we all ran into the boss and we chopped them up, with swords and killed them, and we killed everything else with our weapons, pistols, whatever we had at the time, and that was it. Anyway, so then I met that Nero guy again, and we actually got it done. I told him, hey, let's just use swords, and we all had swords, and we all killed the guy. So see, it was because we just didn't have the right equipment. But I mean, imagine, like you're solo, you're not having friends, you put yourself in that situation. I mean, you just won't get done, and if you can't get that done, then you don't get that loot that you want, and you're gonna be wasting your life for how much was it? 7 hours, 6 hours of gameplay. Yeah, it was nothing, no reward, no nothing. Because every time you wipe, what happens? You don't get anything, right?
Yep.
I mean, it sucks. It's not fun. I don't know how people can, say, man, I want the boss to be 5 hours long. That sucks. That's not fun.
Yeah, it's not efficient, man.
It's a form of insanity. Imagine, like, what was that thing from Far Cry? do the same thing so many times, expecting for something different, so
Yeah,
different
the
results. You
definition
know?
of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah, it's just like you can't do it over and over. That's just crazy talk.
Yeah, that's not good fucking gameplay, man. That's bad. So that's why I'm saying like being OP in a game like this where you're not facing each other because there's no PvP, being OP is okay. So please guys, whatever you do, don't say, "Oh, you got to nerf this gun," or "Everybody has that drop, but I don't have it, so I'm going to hate on everybody." So
Mm-hmm.
I want it to
That's
be
that's the other
nerfed.
thing. Yep.
Nah,
Just you got the
man.
sour puss guy. He's angry because he doesn't have a Galahorn, so he's gonna hate on it. And eventually, somehow, for some reason, the company listens to this kind of people. The blue check marks. They come out of nowhere. Oh, I don't like this. I don't know. Well, what is an outrider weapon name? They don't. They got stupid names, don't they? Like really weird
I
names,
don't
like
even pay attention to the
SV dash.
names.
Yeah, like SV19770. Did you get that gun? That gun is too OP. Gotta nerf it. Instead of nerfing it, they should just make the other guns more powerful. So they're also are in the same threshold as that OP weapon. So then other people will have better selection. If they nerf that gun, well, what does that do? Well, now this other gun is now OP, and then they bring everything back down again. So eventually, you're gonna have a bunch of pea shooters. See,
Yes.
but
And
if
then
you
bullet
increase it
sponges.
higher, right? So if you increase if the weaker weapons to the same standard as the one that is OP, then it will keep moving forward. That's what you want. You want to move the your options. You want to expand your options versus always keep cutting yourself slack. And that's what you're doing. That's that thing. And the game companies know this. See, they know that if they keep cutting you down and down and down, your character becomes weaker. Now you spend more time trying to grind, for this item that you want. But then on top of that, then they'll like they'll do those shadow, what do you call, shadow nerves,
Oh
and you
yeah.
won't know. And then boom, oh hey, how come I'm not? Why am I getting so many greens? Oh yeah, we forgot to tell you, we nerfed the drops too. Stupid. Well, anyway, thanks for buying our game, fucker. You don't want to fall into that trap because who did that? Was it Bungie too who did that? They were shadow nerfing drops. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
With the
Too
hot
many dumb
fixes.
games. Yeah, every time they hot fix, they nerf something, and then somehow people, on PC, luckily they check the code and were like, hey, they nerfed this. They're trying to bend us over hard, and then people got all mad. But then you're gonna still throw money at the screen, aren't you? Yeah, oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. Like being OP is okay in a game like this. You want to be OP. The developers should want you to be OP because that way you keep playing the game to get the drops. Because it's not about the bosses, it's about the drops. It's about the mods. It's about what you see right below, right? You see how it says blighted rounds. You see it increases critical damage by 30%, right? That's what that boot right there does, the anomaly power. So you want to keep playing this game so that it's not 30%, it's higher. So you want to keep playing and playing and playing until you get the drop that you need with the percentage that you want, right? So that's what we need to focus on, guys, right? It's super important, right, that we don't butcher the game saying, oh, nerf this or nerf that. Why is that gun so OP? You're only saying that because you don't have it, because you're not facing anybody with it, so they're not killing you. So what's the problem? you know
Stop hating. There you go.
Stop
Stop
hating.
hating.
Stop hating.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game. No, I'm just
Exactly.
kidding. But
But yeah.
my, my legendary has singularity. So that super machine gun is a legendary machine gun, and it has singularity from that's the skill from the other cat. That ninja dude or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So basically, again, when it shoots, it slows them down. It also debuffs them, and I think on reload it heals you by 20. Oh, I think 20%. I can't remember, but yeah, it's all right. But again, when you hit the enemy, it sounds like garbage. It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
It has this weird clunky sound, like it's like they took two pans and they're banging them together, like clink 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 clink. Like, well, what is that? Who came up with this sounds? You know, or I
Yeah.
can just go to a gun range and just record the sound effects, man. It's for free. I don't know who came up with these sounds, man, but oh yeah, and they also have weird sounds too for notifications. Did you notice that? Like they have like this weird, like a dumb sound when we get notified. Go clang. Like what is that?
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, what is this stupid sound? Yeah, like pay attention next time when you play the game. when you get a notification, you get all these weird, wacky sounds, like I'm watching some Looney Tunes shit, you know? Like it's weird, man. Like I don't know, like I'm expecting like Bugs Bunny to come out of somewhere, you know, that stupid voice he has. You know, I don't know. I don't like. Yeah, they have to work on the sound effects, but that's just nitpicking, you know. Again, like that could be fixed. You know, they can definitely fix sound. I'm pretty sure they can. Hell,
Yeah,
I'll send them free sounds you can use. You know, here, use this. This is better.
yeah.
Don't use these Looney Tunes stuff that whoever told you guys to use it. Stupid. I was sitting there and I keep hearing this weird sound every time I got a notification. You know, like for the Quest,
Right.
it makes this weird goofy sound like cling, clong. Like it sounds like some, like you watch Looney Tunes, like when someone falls, they do these weird sounds. You know, I don't know. Well, I didn't like the sound effects, but that's just nitpicking.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, like I said, I need to feel like I'm at war, right? The sound and the way the guns shoot, and you know, the sound effects right on the guns, right? But at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, we're not really playing the game for that anyway. At the end of the day, we're playing the game for the loot. So I just hope that anybody that plays this game or looks to play this game understands that it's not about, oh, this weapon's too OP. You want to be OP. That's the whole point of
Six
the
out of
game like
10.
this. You want to be OP, man. Don't ruin the game saying, "Oh, this guy, everybody's using that same gun." I'm like, who cares? Are they killing
Oh,
you with
I
it?
hate that. Yeah, I hate that, man. That whole everybody's using. Nobody's trying to be diverse. Shut up. Who cares? Mind your business.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't play in this room then. Go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Do you want me to help you? Here. Go to this other. Go to ALIANZ lobby. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole point, man. Like we need to be able to understand that, folks. You know what I'm saying? And look, Marquis says players should peek into their skill trees. If they look at what's there, you can become extremely powerful. I already figured out paths for my classes with the 20 points we will get. Yeah, man, like you know what I'm saying? Like you just need to be able to mix and match and find out what works for you, and don't bitch about something needing to be nerfed or anything, what I'm saying? Like I said, based
Oh
on
my
on your
goodness. Yeah.
skills.
They might imagine that people start popping out with this. You can't have this sort of tree, like I don't know, configuration of your skill set. You gotta nerf. I don't know, nerf the grenade. Imagine that.
Yeah, because
Oh
then people are
man.
gonna complain like, man, I can't get any kills. I don't feel like I'm helping. This guy's
Right.
too OP. Like, who cares?
Because I started a technomancer because I started the main guy was I used that rock guy whatever. He
Devastator.
was cool. The Devastator, yeah, the Rock, the Juggernaut looking dude. And then I started a little bit. I didn't finish it. I started the Technomancer, and I found some skill sets that actually gave you more grenades. Like I had like 3 grenades. Like I was like, oh, that's cool. So I have more grenades now. I don't have just one explosive.
Hmm.
So that was kind of neat. And you can see people saying like, oh, he's spamming grenades. Nerf the grenades, and now you just stuck with one. I mean, that would suck. You might like, what if I like grenades? What if
What does it matter? We're not killing
what
each
does it
other.
matter? Right. I like grenades. I like to spam explosives. That's what I like to do.
Because
Now I
there's always
can't
some
do it.
people that are out there, man. They're like, man, like I feel like I'm not able to kill anybody because this guy's so OP. He's killing everybody. It
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm not doing anything. Who cares?
Yep.
You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just be here and get the loot. That's it.
Yeah. Get your loot and get out
Or
of
if you
here.
don't like that, go play by yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't
Yeah.
join these lobbies then. Period, man. Like, I don't understand, man. Like, why does it have to be such a chore? Like seriously,
Trying
man.
to
Like,
remember. Didn't we have in a game that we played that there was a dude that was just trying to like hold us back? I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know if it was I was playing with you or I don't know. Maybe, oh, I know what it was. I was playing Little Big Planet. Yeah, when they had it for free, I remember I was playing that. There was a dude just trolling, like just so annoying. And I guess because he didn't like the costume, this other dude, because he sent us messages, like he was really mad. It was on PS3. Yeah, maybe it was that. I can't remember. It was something really dumb. Some dude was like just being obnoxious because he didn't have something. I can't remember, man. It was like old, it was a while ago. It was so dumb. I don't know. When you were telling me about it, I just got a flashback. Maybe I'm traumatized by it. I don't know, man. It was weird. So I just got a flashback. I was like, oh, I remember this one time. This jerk. He was pissed off because my friend had a hat or I don't know some stupid outfit and he didn't have it. And he was, we couldn't progress because he was there. So that was just dumb.
yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need that, man. We don't need people playing the game and acting like that, man. Who cares what the other person has, man? If they're able to carry you, then fine. That way you get to a point where you can do that for others. That's the whole point of the game. That's how Diablo works, man. Diablo, you
Maybe,
Jesus.
maybe, man. Maybe the reason they do that is also so other people won't be able to get it. Like for example, remember what was it? Again, another Destiny reference. Remember what was that stupid rifle that you got from the Vault of Glass? Remember that stupid missile class? I think it was.
Oh, the Vex Mythic class.
Yeah, remember it was really OP because, especially in Crucible, I mean, it was very strong, but then people cried about it, like because everybody already owned it and they enjoyed it. They already had a good time with it, but then even those people were like, yeah, it's just too powerful. Bungie nerfed it or cancel it, Bungie. And well, they did it, right? They ruined it. And then eventually, that's when everybody else got it, and then they just couldn't enjoy the item because it was useless.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that strong anymore. It was garbage. I was like, oh, this sucks. I think that's when I got it too. When it sucked,
Yeah, me
I was
too.
like, oh well, it looks cool. Is it good? No.
So why is it a legendary or an exotic drop then? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you got it, boss. Whoa. And it sucks? Yeah.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose,
Got a
man.
Gallagher, but no, they gave me the Visitor class. Remember, I got it that one time, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, great, thanks a lot."
Yeah,
Not used
thanks
and
for
it
giving me
sucked.
a fucking nerfed weapon, asshole.
Yeah, and it sucked. It just wasn't powerful enough, man. I tried to use it in Crucible too, and it sucked. I was like, this is dumb. This is depressing. I'm gonna go play it back. I'm going back to Minecraft. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, I was like, man, this sucks. I was about to say like, oh no, Mr. Clap flew over my house. But
A Vex Mythic class flew over my house.
yeah,
But yeah,
but
man.
yeah, man, it's bullshit. But yeah, I mean, like I said, 6 out of 10, and hopefully the game does good. I do, and then once Diablo 2 comes, I'll probably uninstall it. No, I'll keep it there. I'll keep it on. I think the game. I hope it does good because I don't. There's not really a lot of options out there.
No, there really isn't. No.
There isn't, unless you want to go VR, I guess, right?
Nah.
I don't think there's really anything out there with cool in VR either, is it, or is it not?
Just a Half-Life game.
Yeah, that's it, right?
That's
Because
it.
everything I keep seeing, like especially on Facebook, I keep seeing this freaking guy. I don't know who he is, man, but he has a weird voice, and he's always like he plays this game where he tortures these avatars, like he stabs them in their head or something. I was like, man, imagine making a video 8 hours doing that. He's just sitting there stabbing dudes in the head and shooting. I don't know who he is. I'm not even following him. I
No,
just get him.
I don't know. I don't know
Like,
if
who
you.
is he?
I don't know if you're seeing what we're seeing on the stream now, but there's gonna be this creature when you go pick up the lieutenant that looks like a big ass dinosaur. I don't know what the fuck that is. You know,
Oh, you talk about that big creature, the alien with the skinny legs?
yeah, bro. I hope we could fight that.
I probably do. Remember, they said the altars are scared of it because it's just too powerful, even though it looks like a big, skinny penis.
I thought it was like a fucking weird ass dinosaur looking thing.
It
That
looks like
shit
a
look
whale.
crazy.
It has like a whale face.
Yeah, it does
And
have a
a
whale
skinny little
face.
body. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It must be powerful if the altars are scared of it. They're like, remember that dude said, "Oh, they're scared of it." And I think he gets shot in the head,
Yeah, he tries to
right?
fucking be cool and shit, and kills the dudes
He
that
gets
were holding
popped.
him down, and he got shot in the face.
Yeah, he got popped. He's trying to walk all cool, and he gets
Yeah, it's
popped
about
right
to
in
happen right now. It's on the stream right now. It's about to happen. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. I hope people just understand that that's what this game is trying to accomplish, right? Don't be afraid to be OP in a game like this. You're not playing against anybody else. So the more OP we are, the more efficient we can be, the better gear we're gonna be able to get in a much more timely manner and be able to enjoy the game more. That's super important to understand, folks. Don't bitch about being OP. Don't bitch about other people being OP. Don't bitch about this weapon being OP. None of that, man, because you're going to ruin the fucking game. You guys need to understand that buffs and being OP is okay when it's just you against the environment with your friends. That's it. That's all you need to understand. Anything else, man? If you're saying, oh man, because I don't have this weapon, you gotta nerf it. You're just a hater, and you're gonna ruin this game, and you're gonna ruin it for a lot of people. I'm telling you that right now. That's what happens all the time.
And you really don't need that weapon because remember how long it took for us to get the Galahorn. Remember that?
It
You
took
never
me
even
over a
needed
year to
it.
get it.
Well, I mean, you got played from that one guy. Remember that guy who bumped you out and then he got it.
Yeah,
But but
I
still,
got booted. I
you,
got booted from a game, and he got my drop.
yeah, he
I'll never
got
forget
bumped
that.
and he took his Galahorn. It was yours, man. I mean, that had your name on it. And then this dude comes out of nowhere. He logs into our party, and he's like, "Sup, guys?" And he was near the end too. He logged in like near the he timed it just perfect. He logged in, the drops show and bam, there goes Galahorn, and that dude got it. He bumped aliens to third place or third slot, whatever. And I think you got a what was it? You got a purple, I think.
I don't even remember.
It was something really bad. No, oh no, you got those stupid coins, strange
Oh,
coins.
strange
That's
coins.
yeah, you got a strange coins. I remember that. That was cool.
It's fucking dumb.
Oh, yeah, strange coins for Zerg.
Fuck,
Zerg
man.
was stupid. I hate Zerg. I wanted to always shoot that thing.
But yeah, I mean that's what we got to say. For Outriders, guys. I mean, we think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun. Definitely check it out. Sephiroth gives it a 6. I give it a 7 right now. I think it can definitely go up to an 8. I just need to see what the end game gear is going to be like, the percentages, how you can mix and match it with your skills. And like I said, if it happens to do it right, I think we might have something really good on our hands, right? Something that a lot of people are going to appreciate. It may be a small community, but sometimes that's a good thing, right? Because then, with a small
You can
community,
all interact.
we can all interact, we can all control the way we play the game, right? The way we interact with each other, and not no people bitching about something being nerfed or this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all out there helping each other, so that's super important. So that's just something you guys need to keep in mind of, right? If you're gonna get this game, it comes out April 1st, right? It's gonna be practically on everything, right? PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox One X, of course PS4 Pro, right? Series X, Series S, PC. I mean, the only thing it's not on is a Switch, right? But that's okay. And it's gonna have crossplay, right? So you'll be able to play with your friends no matter where they're playing. So
We
that's
haven't
one
tried
thing.
it that yet, huh?
What, the crossplay?
The, yeah, we haven't even
No,
tested that out yet. I don't
no.
think nobody even talked about that on any YouTube yet.
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
think nobody
working
even has.
properly right now.
You don't think so? Oh, that's not good then.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I'm not sure. I have to look into it. I haven't tried it yet though. I've tried to find matches, but it just doesn't load up into anything. So I'm like, whatever.
Damn, we need to try it. So then we can say, so if it doesn't work, my grade from 6.10 or 610 goes down to 5.9
Marquis says
or
it
10.
works. Marquis is telling us in the chat that it works. So that's definitely a good thing. I
So
haven't
that means
tried it
you don't know
yet,
what that means you don't know what you're doing then,
bro.
alien. What's
I'm
up?
I'm a noob, man. What do you expect?
Damn.
You know, I need to stop being a noob. You know, but it hasn't. I
Damn.
haven't tried it yet, so at least now we have confirmation, right, from the chat that it works. So that's even a bigger plus, right? So now you can play with your friends no matter where they're playing. So that should have definitely a good community. Just please, guys, just make sure. He says he can explain it, and I'm online. And yeah, go ahead and explain if you can real quick, Marquise. We're about to end the show right now, so if you want to go ahead and type it up real quick, let us know. And
Yeah,
yeah,
tell aliens how to do this because
I need help. So yeah, you know what I mean. Like at the end of the day, man, like this is a game that like I said, you put me on, right? You put me onto this game, and it's something that I have been looking forward to. So you know, definitely, if you're interested in playing this game, I suggest trying out the demo because whatever you do in the demo is going to carry over onto the main game, so you can at least get that progress. So, definitely go ahead and check out the demo. It's on every platform except Nintendo Switch. So, check it out. Check it out. Try it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know in the comment section. You can join the Discord. The link is in the chat. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and call that a stream. Like I said, it comes out April 1st. Seth, any closing thoughts on the game? What do you got to say?
I think you should start like a whole Outrider army thing and then have like contests and stuff and give like people gift cards, like for being MVP for the day, helping the clan or whatever. Do they people still use clans? I don't know.
They need to.
Whatever.
I wonder if they're gonna have any sort of clan system here. That would be nice.
You know what I'm saying? And then have like not tournament, but you know what I'm saying, like how many people you helped out today? Oh, I helped 12. Here, have a gift card. Have $10. Go buy something cool. Have a PSN thing, PSN card. That'd
That'd
be
be
pretty
nice.
neat. You know what I'm saying? Be like, here you go. Go buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself some loot box from EA. Tell them I sent you.
Yeah. All right, so
Yeah,
Marquis
man.
says
But
follow along, press the pause button. So you got to press. Well, I'm not playing right now. This is a recording, actually. By the way, this is a recording from yesterday. Right, we're actually uploading this right now. I'm still waiting for YouTube to process the whole video in 4K.
this
It's
is not
taking
even
forever.
real. That means you was playing us.
Oh, I
Damn,
already
dude,
played
that's
this.
twice.
This
Damn.
this is from yesterday, man. I just put that there so we can talk over it, so people can see what we're talking about. You know what we're talking, right? So that video is actually being uploaded now. It's already uploaded. I'm just waiting for YouTube to finish the processing. It's taking forever. I don't know why, but whatever, right? Once it's
Because
there,
YouTube don't like you, man.
yeah, they don't want me to win, man. So it's gonna be in 4K, guys, right? So if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. You'll see it in full 4K, running on a 3060 Ti, 4K, 60 frames, ultra settings. It's gonna look awesome, man. I put it in 70,000 bit rate, so it's gonna look nice. That's probably why it's taking so damn long. But you know,
You probably broke their servers, man.
yeah, they probably said, man, this guy, man, we gotta charge him.
You
You know.
gotta put this guy in a freaking payment plan.
All right, so Marquis says, make sure your session is not set to private and then click on play with friends and then you can generate a code or put in a code from the player you are trying to join. All right, I'm going to check
Not
that
bad.
out. I'm going to check that out. Oh, sorry about that, man. I don't know why Nightbot started blocking you, bro.
Man, why is
Nightbot,
Bob blocking people, man?
yeah, Nightbot is being too hardcore. Let me turn him off real quick.
Come on, man. Why you start blocking people, man? What are you doing?
Yeah, Nightbot, it has a mind of its own sometimes. So yeah, I mean, just keep that in mind.
Cancel.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro. I'm gonna fix that right now. But yeah, just keep that in mind, right, guys? Keep that in mind that if you happen to get the game, just make sure that you understand how to play these sort of games. Make sure that you understand that the game is about it's about loot, man. It's not about the boss being tough to kill. Nah, man. It's about the loot that you get and getting the right role. So just keep that in mind, right, when you play this game. And yeah, like I said, April 1st, check it out. It's gonna be, I think, what, $60, right? So I think it's definitely worth the pickup. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's show, everyone. So Seth, I want to thank you for coming on the show. As always, man, giving us your input, because you of course put me onto the game, so it's only right that you be here, right? So that's gonna do it
Could have
for
been
now.
earlier, but I could have been earlier, man. But I had this stupid meeting, man. Kept holding this guy. There's always that one guy who always asks, like, everybody's like, "Okay, are we done? Are we done?" And then somebody's like, "Oh, I have a question." Like, oh my god, come on, man, come on! I want to get the hell out of here, man. He's like, "Oh, I got a question," and then he talks slow, like, "So I think, like, oh man." So anyway, yeah, I apologize for that. I would have been here earlier.
Nah, it's fine. That's fine. It's all good. At least we got you here, bro. Thank you to everyone that tuned in, and yeah, we'll see you next week for another episode of a gamer's opinion right here on Gotta Be Legend TV on Twitch, and we'll see you soon. Until next time, folks. This has been ALIANZ for Gotta Be Legend and Gotta Be Legend TV, and we're out. Peace.